All
Are we
right.
actually live?
We
Did
are.
we do this? Did we do this again? I can't believe we've
We are
made
here
it.
again,
Wow.
1 year later. Welcome,
Oh,
everyone, to Measure Summit 2023.
the fourth Measure Summit in a row that we've managed to pull off. This has been incredible.
Yeah, and we already have lots of people joining us in the chat and live on the socials. So this is the pre-show where we are going to introduce you to Measure Summit. And hopefully you'll stick with us over the course of the next 5 hours now, where we're going to hear some awesome sessions from great speakers all around the Measure community and really over the next 3 days. So Measure Festival is definitely a thing now. And yeah, we have already some people joining us here for the chat. Oh, that scene, I need to fix that scene a little bit further. I don't know where the white stripes come from, but the Kings will be gone hopefully soon. And we already have some cool people here. Really cool to see Juliana already join. We have
Cindy, Sean David's in there. Alter. Where's everyone from? Just out of curiosity. I always like to sort of see where we are in the world. Cindy's there.
Javan already wrote in the chat.
Here.
Gianluca as well. And Sean is here. Lorenzo.
Scott's in the house. Look at this.
And first of all, can you all hear us? That's the.
Oh, they can definitely hear us. We got the Netherlands, North Carolina, Petersburg, New Hampshire, Italy, France, another North Carolina. There you go. UK, another North Carolina. Okay, North Carolina for the win so far. Chicago, there's North Texas. We're in Austin, by the way, so shout out to Texan. Columbia, Johannesburg. Oh, this is incredible. Wales. That's fantastic. I love it. Just a world full of people.
Yeah, so many people around here. Let me just get rid of this. Okay. So really cool to have you all join us for Measure Summit. And if you're seeing this on the socials, obviously, this is just a pre-show. We will not stream this live on YouTube and LinkedIn, but this show, the first hour right now, is on all the socials, and we want to spread the word because you still have the chance to go over to MeasureSummit.com just MeasureSummit.com, get your free ticket, and you'll be able to join us here live and also write into the chat. It's super fun in there. Most of the time, I think when the comments come flying, it's really hard to keep up. But it's really great stuff, and people have always asked us to save the chat somewhere so they will be able to reference, because people actually share stuff in there that's super valuable. So definitely check out over at MeasureSummit.com. And Suzanne has just bought the All Access Pass. Thank Suzanne for joining us even after the party is over. And Mercer, let us know, what is the All Access Pass all about?
Great question. So the All Access Pass gives you access to all of the sessions and lets you keep access to all the sessions. The free ticket, you can watch the sessions. We'll make sure that all of the sessions are available for a full 24 hours. So all the day one sessions, when we unlock them, and we'll announce that as we go through the live stream. But once they're unlocked, they will stay unlocked for a full 24 hours because we know that everyone's got different time zones. We want to make sure that everybody with a free ticket has plenty of time to watch during that day. And then we'll lock them down. Once they get locked down, the only individuals that will be able to still watch those will be the All Access Pass members. Now, the other thing that the All Access Pass gives you is we enhance those speaker session pages with sections from the crowdsourced notes. You're going to have the ability to download the sessions. You're going to have transcripts. All that sort of stuff gets put in there. So that's another huge reason to get the All Access Pass. If you like this particular session, you want the resources, or to be able to reference it later. And I'll tell you, this year, Julian, thinking about where we started. Of this thing, which was like, what was it, 2020, right? Was the first one?
Yeah.
So where we started was 15 speakers. Do you even know how many speakers we have right now?
I know it's no. Yeah, it's really a pop quiz because some of the sessions actually came on yesterday, right? So
we have no. We've been piling all together. We have over 44, I think is where we ended up, but over 40 sessions that we manage. Now we have the 15 for the live stream, but we've expanded out that second stage. And the part of the reason I mentioned that when we're talking about all access pass is we're going to do our best to keep all the sessions up there so everybody with a free ticket has access and can watch them. But there's a lot of sessions this time. So if you can't quite get to the sessions, another reason to pick up the all access pass, just so you can kind of do it at your leisure when you go through.
Yeah, and it's almost like do you remember that show 24? I used to I used to try to. It's so dumb now when I try to watch a season. It's really really hard to watch just because it just doesn't work in this day and age anymore. But back in the 2000s, people were watching it and it was really new concept. And the one thing that I always wanted to do is binge watch a season of 24 in 24 hours, which obviously it's only 18 hours with the ad breaks and so on. But now you can actually binge watch MeasureSummit, and somebody do the calculations and let us know how long it will take you to get through all of the sessions.
How many hours of MeasureSummit are there? I tell you what, Julian, if you want to, I can share my screen.
Yeah.
Attempt to, and then
go ahead.
Kind of walk everybody through MeasureSummit and kind of the interface, especially those who are here.
Let me first cut over to what is coming up today, so everybody knows where we are going today. So we are going to talk about first of all the first day of MeasureSummit, and there was 5 sessions, 5 awesome sessions on the main stage. Obviously, there's way more in the second stage, so you can check that out as well. And first of all, right after our pre-show right here, we have a session coming up from Charles Farina on dealing with attribution curveballs in GA4. So everybody who is a fan of the GA4 and hasn't gotten grips yet with the good old attribution model, which I don't know if I have gotten grip of it in the old version yet. So that will be something that Charles will be demystifying for us, hopefully, and we can all learn from that. Then one of the most prolific people in GA4, I would say, is also Fred Pike, who always brings out great content on GA4 and our tips and trips, really from a perspective of a practitioner, and he will tell us the essential GA4 parameters for every GTM container. So if you're in the GTM world in GA4, you don't want to miss that. And then we have Christy Osborne talking about simplify to amplify, enhance client retention through streamlined reporting. And that will obviously be all about how you can build really effective dashboards, reports for your clients and really make a difference with your data. So we are looking forward to that from Christy. Then we have Phil Pierce with GTag within GTM, FTW or TFW, however you want to word it. I think everybody knows what this abbreviation means. And yeah,
for the win.
the GTag is something that is quite new and quite up to date. So everybody should tune into that, and Phil really gives some cool insights on this one as well. And last but not least, Juliana Jackson, she's already in the chat, semantic textual analysis, which is NLP modeling. And that will be a future and current talk, I think. I mean, we look into the future of AI, but then also we want to already use that nowadays. And she has actually done it on a project and will be telling us all about this. So we are looking forward to that one. So just for today, dealing with attribution by Charles, essential GA4 parameters in GTM with Fred Pike, enhancing client retention through streamlined reporting, Christy, and then the GTag by Phil Pierce, and last but not least, semantic textual analysis by Juliana Jackson. So everybody, this is a full packed day, and hopefully you are looking forward to it like me. Mercer, just go ahead and share your screen. Have you already?
Yeah, I will. But real quick, I saw some people in the chat room saying that my mic was a little low. So I want to make sure, is it
all right?
Correct now? I'm pulling up the volume.
Let me just
they're saying the live stream,
pull you
the mic
up
is
here
low,
as well. So I will pull you up a little bit on my screen. You won't hear it, but they will hear it as well. Okay,
cool. Because that's the thing. Julie and I have the similar settings on our side. So
yeah,
so that we're watching the chat and give it about, it's probably like a 30-second delay, I think.
Yeah.
So I know Julian's coming up. Sounds like Eleanor's saying it sounds like I'm still far away. So if you want to pull up the gain. a little bit. This is what the pre-show is all about. We get to work out the tech. That's why we gave you this hour early, a little bonus hour. Jessica's saying it's better. That's good.
Okay.
So what else? Okay, there we go. Thank
As long as you're not peeking.
Thank you, chat. This is the perfect. I love the chat room. We have such a great chat room. All right. Thanks, y'all. Okay, so in that case, let me go ahead and share our screen, and then I will move us over here. So we should be seeing. Hang on just one second. I want to make sure I am sharing the right screen. I have way too much stuff open right now. All right.
Let me know when you're ready to switch over.
Okay, let's.
Don't see it yet on your side.
Yeah, neither do I. I'm trying to. Oh man.
Oh,
okay,
Benway, thanks for buying the all access pass. You are awesome. Well, hold on. We have even a confetti thing, I think, for everyone here. So that is in place. All right. Mercer has shared his
Julian,
screen.
Are you seeing?
Yes.
Perfect. Okay.
And we can switch over.
I finally figured this out. So the live stream itself is obviously where you're watching it now. So everything's going to be here. We're going to, this is, oh, by the way, is there any first timers here? Go ahead and put that in the chat room. We'd love to see anybody's sort of new to MeasureSummit. That would be fantastic. So the live stream, we're going to be doing that all day long. It'll be this thing. We're going to keep it, and we're going to keep it live for the full 24 hours until tomorrow's live stream, and then we'll flip it out. So you'll have this at all time if you want to watch it sort of sequentially. So this is the dashboard itself. You've got the chat. So this is that little yellow tag right here, and this is where you're opening up. We just put everybody in the chat room first so people can join the chat. But you also have the schedule. So like Julian's been showing you what's going on with the schedule. If you click over here, you're going to see where it says schedule. We've got day 1, day 2, day 3. And then these are the sessions. We have the main stage. These are the ones that are released in the live stream, and we're going to release those at these times. So you'll see those. And then you will start to see also the on-demand second stage speakers that are here as well. So you can see some on-demand sessions, and we'll talk about those in just a moment. So that's the main sort of dashboard page when you come in. So when you come into MeasureSummit, this is the main page to watch. Now, next is the main stage. So all I'm doing is just right up here in the navigation, click on main stage, and you can see this. These are the live stream sessions. So each one of these sessions will have the session for the speaker in there once it's live. So we'll put the pre-show link for that day in here so everybody can watch that. But let's, for example, click into Charles so I can show you Charles's. So when we click into Charles's speaker session page, as we bring this up, and my computer's probably smoking in the background. I got all this stuff being shared at the moment. And I'll come back to that. I'm gonna let that load up in a second so we can see Charles's page. The second thing is the second stage. So the second stage is all on demand. Now, again, these are not released yet because MeasureSummit hasn't officially started yet. We're still, 45 minutes-ish away from the start. So as MeasureSummit progresses for day 1, we're going to start to release the second stage sessions, and you will see those in there as well. And again, you have access to those for at least a full 24 hours, no matter where you are with a free ticket. And then all access pass holders will retain access. So you have all of that. We also have our sponsors. So if you click over on the navigation, we want to thank, of course, Listen Layer, who's our event sponsor for this year. We have Elevar back again as well. Listen Layer and Elevar are both back for sponsorships. And then, of course, Measure School, Julian's company, and MeasureMarketing.io, our organization that I'm a part of. So we are all the sponsors, and that will link you to the virtual booths. Now, these virtual booths, we're going to be doing a fun little game. Those of you who are familiar with MeasureSummit know about the scavenger hunt that we do. So we're going to release that a little bit later. So not quite yet. We don't want to give you everything right now. But take a look at the booths that are back there. You can see everybody's offers. There's a lot of companies that are putting specific offers just for you during MeasureSummit time. And you can see just how many that we have back here as well. So you can learn more about some of the speakers and some of the companies that are back as we go. So those are the virtual booths. Feel free to click through those and take a look. And then let's go back to what a speaker session page looks like. So currently, if you just see this and you don't see the video, all that means it hasn't been released yet. When the speaker goes live and we switch over to Charles going live, we'll go ahead and make sure that the session ends up here as well. So if you happen to see this and that session's already happened, just refresh the screen and then you should see that video there. Certainly by the time the session's over is when you'll see it back there as well. And then you'll also start to see, especially those of you with All Access Pass, and that'll probably be later that we'll be doing that. Some of the speaker stuff, we have to do the transcripts and the crowdsource notes and do some processing. So next week we add in all the extra links that are there. But anything that we have, speaker feedback links you're going to start to see back there and everything else as well. So we'll put those all on the individual speakers session page. But of course, you could just watch the live stream with Julie and I as well. So it depends kind of how you want to Measure Summit. We make it flexible for you to do that, however you'd like to. So that is our Measure Summit groove.
So thank you so much, Mercer, for walking us through this. And we already had some people in the chat. I just want to show you this new gadget that I got. It's our Measure Summit board with a little
check that
little logo as well that I have designed. So I will put that into the background so everybody can be reminded of Measure Summit. And maybe we can put I tried to put the live count up, but it was too less time. Maybe I can do it in the next 3 days and put that up there as well. But yeah, thank you so much. Let's go over to the chat again. We have a lot of chatter and we have a lot of different first timers here as well. So it's great to have you guys join us. And don't be overwhelmed. We have many new guys here. Well, some guy. And then we have Kat here, I guess. It's always cool if you use your first name because then it's easier to pronounce. Lana B. Callahan. So thanks for being here. Third time already for Jessica. We have Anna is the fourth time already.
Oh, that's another great question. How many have seen every single Measure Summit?
Click on it and then we can pop it up.
I love that. So how many of you have seen every single Measure Summit? That's pretty cool to have that. And I love the first timers. Welcome to all the first timers as well. I saw, was it Vicky? Yes, Vicky's back there. So hi, Vicky. I love it. Jacqueline. So, this is so cool.
Yeah, thanks so much for joining us. Definitely cool to see so many people here. And people from Dubai following us here as well. People from Greece, Portugal.
Janice has been here 4 years.
Wow. Lots of new people as well.
That's really cool. Yeah, this is cool.
All right.
So here's a question just to get the party started. Who's loving GA4? Who's loving GA4? Okay, let me just rephrase. Versus where it was last year. This year compared to last year, is GA4 better or worse in terms of like your skill set with it, your comfortability with it, just better or worse? Let's put those words in there.
It's funny to think about it. Like think about when we started Measure Summit, there was no GA4 yet. Was there already?
I know it was barely app and web. I think it just recently come out. You know, when they were calling it that back in the day. Oh, look at that! This is good for the team. Good for Google. Look at these better.
Google should sponsor us.
it's all in how you ask that question, you know? Because if I had just said, what are you thinking about it? I don't know. But
all right,
much better.
Some haters as well. David doesn't quite like it. Kate doesn't quite like it, but better. GA4 rules.
I like it better too. I think it's better. For sure. Yep.
Some tracking daddy thinks it's stupid. And yeah, but benchmark is low. Okay, and getting there.
That's a fact.
There. Vicky says it's getting there. Yeah, definitely.
We got some shout outs for Matomo. Has anybody, this is a total curiosity, has anybody switched platforms where you were using Google Analytics just all day long and then you switched? And if so, what did you switch to? I'm always curious on that. I wasn't sure if it was Pivwick or Matomo, Adobe. I'm all for the GA4 BigQuery. That's what, I'm starting to see some of that too. Matomo, if you need page views only, there you go.
Oh, Daniel bought the All Access Pass. Confetti for you, Daniel. Thanks so much.
Julian's in charge of the confetti for the show.
Oh, it's cutting off in the middle. Need to fix that as well. All right. Then, Adobe
so
UA.
Interesting. So that's curious. So Jacqueline's saying, looks like they went
Plano
from
in France. Never heard of Plano.
To GA4.
What is Plano? Interesting.
Oh, Plano.
Oh,
piano. Lots of piano.
Oh, piano. Yeah. That's true. I've heard of it. Yeah. Okay. I couldn't quite see it here on the screen. All right. Really cool to see. Let me see what's next on our agenda.
Did you see this one, Julian? Just popping this up for you so you can see it on the screen.
Oh, Gus. Okay, Gus. Just for you, you get a confetti. So everybody, Gus, high five. Actually, you need to have a high five. The clapping would be different.
Oh, we have different clapping sounds. So this is why I just hang on.
Yeah.
I'll just let you guide.
I actually don't know if you can hear this all, right, Mercer? Is this?
I don't know if I can, but that's okay. As long as they can, that's what matters. Everybody hear the fun sound effects?
All right.
There's a lot of pretty positive with GA4. Now, some people switching, but a lot of people saying, "Hey, it's the best free option," which I think it is too. And it's improving. There's some pretty cool improvements coming out on that platform. They're definitely listening, which is nice.
And so obviously we have tons of more. Another polarizing question: who is the session? What is the session that you look forward to the most? If you look at the agenda,
great question.
Because we have lots of other people still coming up tomorrow and after on Friday. And we could go through the agenda, but we don't want to spoil too much here. But maybe you have seen our agenda on the website already and know who is there. Oh, Yoshua is also here. And he says GA4 sucks. All right. Welcome, Yoshua.
And look at it. Simo's already getting some of the Analytics Mania. There you go for Julius. That'll also be on Friday. Friday's gonna be a big day for everybody because both Simo and Charles Farina, he's coming up today. That's perfect. And then Julius and Simo will be on Friday. That's perfect. Look at that. Simo is definitely Tracky Daddy loves Simo. I think Tracky Daddy's got a thing for Simo. There we go. Lord Simo.
Okay,
Simo's
cool.
got his he's the Death Star of GA of server side. There we go. It's Fred Pike. That's also today. That's perfect. Yeah, Julius is great. And then Anders asking, can we post the correct URL to the show? So this is it. You should be, if you're in the chat room, this is the show.
This is the show.
This is it. Yep. Welcome, Manju, first timer. Simo is the king of this thing. I've learned so much from Simo from back in the day. I say this every year, but I still miss Google Plus because that Google Plus network, that's where I met him. Was in back there when they were all hanging out with all the
Mercer was still
geeks and Tag Manager geeks.
When Mercer was still using social media, now we are all sick of it and we're getting polarized and manipulated by social media. But Google Plus was
Google Plus was the friendly place where intelligent people went to have a conversation about a specific topic that had nothing to do with politics. It was great.
But do you know the Measure Summit moment from last year where we had Simo on, everybody was waiting, and then we had a great conversation for 20 minutes till we noticed that Simo's sound wasn't coming through. And we kind of, Fanny also just bought the All Access Pass. Thank you, Fanny, for supporting Measure Summit, but as well as enjoy all of the recordings after the summit is over. I think there will be plenty of knowledge in there as well. So this is really cool. With that said, let's take one moment again to thank our sponsors. I don't have a button for the sponsors on my Stream Deck, and I will need to change that around. I don't know why it comes up 2 times, but I will fix that in a second here. So
hey, no worries.
Let's go.
I also just wanted, while you're pulling that up too, just somebody had asked like if they need help with All Access Pass or anything like that, or anything with Measure Summit related, just go to support@measuresummit.com. That's the email you want to use, and then the support team will be back there, and they're working through their emails. So give them a little bit of time to get back to you, but they'll get back to you.
So thank you so much to our sponsors. The premier sponsor, Listen Layer, has decided to come forward and sponsor this event throughout the different days. Today is actually the first day where we have a day sponsor. This is Eleva. And obviously Measurement Marketing and Measure School are making this possible as well. But just to point out, first of all, Listen Layer, a really cool tool to build in your data layer on your website. and make and connect the different tools really to your marketing stack, and a long-term supporter as well of MeasureSummit. So really thankful for their support as well. And I believe we have.
And I'll tell you, the whole concept behind that name, because they've been around for a while, and they came in early to this tag manager game where it's like, hey, we're going to get the data layers on there. That was the hard part, is like working with a million different platforms, and you don't want to have to send it to a dev team or IT team all the time to get data layers and everything else. You just need something that can listen and then put it into the data layer, get it, listen layer. That's kind of the whole idea of where that came from. But it's such a phenomenal product, and they're continuing to expand to get into, they handle privacy issues. They've got, there's just a ton of stuff back there to take a look at. So walk through their virtual booth and you'll see some details on listen layer, especially if you're using, Tag Manager for sure.
Yeah, it's really worth looking at the virtual booth. Also for something that you might know coming up called the scavenger hunt. So if you have a little bit of time, you can leave that on in the background and until the first session starts in just 35 minutes from now, and roam around the virtual booth and see what Listen Layer has to offer there as well. And we really thank them for the support of MeasureSummit 2023, as well as, oh no, now you saw the little video already, but as well as Eleva, obviously. Thank you, Eleva, for sponsoring MeasureSummit 2023. And Eleva is first of all, it was the #1 tool on Shopify to connect your Google Tag Manager to all of the Shopify stores out there. But they're doing so much more now with their own server-side deployment and many more pipeline tools that they have built over the months. So check out Eleva as well on the virtual booth. Also a long-term sponsor of MeasureSummit. Thank you so much for the support. And you already know that there is a little video that we want to show you right now. So this is a short one. I hope you enjoy.
Managing your site's conversion data is a pain in the ass. There's plenty of tools out there to help, but they don't make it easy. Want a tip? Make it easy. Trust your data. Scale faster. Get Elevar.
So thank you so much, Elevar, for sponsoring this year's MeasureSummit 2023. And a really cool clip as well. Okay, Mercer is not...
I hit the wrong button.
All right.
So I will say Elevar's second stage session. So Brad Redding is who did that session with them. And he went through, if you have any work at all with a Shopify store that you're doing measurement on, watch that session. We're going to release it a little bit later on today. But he went into the deep dive of pulling it out and how to pull everything out. Obviously, they've got the platform of Elevar to help out with that as well. It makes it easier. We use that for all of the stuff that we do with Shopify. We recommend that for all of our students as well. It's a phenomenal platform. But watch his talk, because he really went down into a deep dive and working with Shopify stuff. So absolutely fantastic if you're measuring Shopify stores.
Yeah, and last year's session was also pretty good on this one. So obviously that's a little outdated now after 1 year, but Brad came through and made us a second session. So thank you so much for also supporting us here at MeasureSummit. All right. That is it for the sponsor section. And
all right. Do you want to talk about crowdsource notes?
Obviously.
All right. Let's talk about crowdsource notes. So I'm going to put this into the chat. So as I find our little windows here. So the crowdsource notes. So here's the link. I'm going to put it into the chat. Give me just a second. All right. So this is the link for this year. I know it says 2021. I don't know why that's doing that. It's pulling a cached version, but that is going to take you to the actual crowdsource notes. When you load this up, it's gonna be completely empty, because it always is every year. So it's just how it starts. But the whole idea of these notes is to have the MeasureSummit community to be able to pitch in and help each other. And every year it just gets better and better and better, because some of us, let's face it, are better at watching this stuff, and some of us are better at taking notes on this stuff. So everybody comes together, they kind of combine their superpowers. Last year for 2022, we ended up with a huge table of contents. There were screenshots that people were putting in, and just everybody helping each other. So obviously we have never had a problem with that. It is just a Google Doc, so it'll take a second, but it'll pull up. So give it some time, and you'll see it there, because it just redirects to Google Doc. So you'll see that.
And one thing is that,
and I think right now the site's probably getting a ton of traffic as people are coming in. So that'll start slowing down.
Yeah, and please don't delete the notes. That would be awesome.
Correct. Yes, there is that. We always go back and sometimes go back and find the revisions of stuff. But yeah.
Cool. The Krausut's notes. We have already 40 people in there. So please type away if you want to put in any kind of things in there, especially when we get started in just a second with Charles Farina's opening session on GA4 attribution models. So that will be an interesting one. And
Joel was asking in the chat about the session about Shopify. That was Brad Redding. He's on second stage, so he's going to be an on-demand session. So we're going to release that just a little bit, and we'll make notes. We'll let everybody know during the live stream which ones are live and that you can go watch. But it'll happen after Charles's goes that. So remember, Charles is going to be about 30 minutes. We'll kick off the official Measure Summit party in about 30 minutes with Charles's.
And I think you should, everyone who's watching this live, you should pay attention, because we have some awesome prizes as well coming up on our little giveaway that we do in between sessions. So if you pay attention and you actually help out, Tom just bought the Access Pass, high five. If you pay attention, then you will be able to win some prizes. So we are gonna let you in on what you need to do in a little bit here. But we have some really, really awesome prizes. If you remember s'mores, which I actually learned about at Measure Summit.
That's true. We taught you s'mores. That's right.
There's some really cool prizes. I mean, we could go through the prizes already, right? There's no harm in this one.
Absolutely. Let's do it.
Let me go over here and show you what we are up to as well. Here we have the giveaway screen. So just in terms of the giveaway, tons of giveaway prizes in this year's Measure Summit. And you can not pick and choose, but we will raffle them off. And everybody who takes part in this giveaway, we'll tell you the instructions in a second here as well, or later on how to actually win these prizes. But just to teaser you a little bit on what you can expect. So first of all, we have a 1-hour private mentor session from the one and only Jim Stern, really somebody who has been in the industry for a long time, and he will be on tomorrow, I think, on Measure Summit on the stage. So that is something that I actually want to win myself, to pick his brain, as the kids say, right?
Yep.
Then we have a new book from a past Measure Summit speaker. Unfortunately, she's not on this time because she was really, really busy writing her new book, Present Beyond Measure. Leah Pika's book is out. You can check it out on Amazon as well. And it's it's a Wiley book, so it's priced up there with other Wiley books, and it's around $40, and she's giving away 5 of those. So hopefully you'll be able to get hold of one of those. And we have a narration spot on the User Journey Volume 2. So I need to explain this a little bit. Josh Silverwell, he was on the second stage, and he's a active musician as well as theater performer, and I would say composer of operas. And he actually is super into analytics, because he also does this for a living. And he is building a rock opera out on the user journey. He calls it the user journey. And I got a sneak peek a little bit, and I was actually able to get one of these narration spots. So it's a really cool experience to hear what he's up to. And you will be able to be part of this if you win this prize. We have a 2-hour team training with Josh. So he's a expert in everything GA4, Pivot Pro, Looker Studio, and Microsoft Clarity. So that might be really cool for a team call to go through. Siobhan has given us one of our power hours. So that is her way of giving the knowledge over and bringing able to pick her brain. So go over to Siobhan's website and you can book this actually for $350, but she's giving one out here for this giveaway. Ton from Online Dialogue is giving out a free seat to the Online Dialogue remote conversion optimization course. So a course seat here as well as a consulting call that you can have with him. Obviously really valuable on the CRO stuff. Measurement marketing. Mercer is giving out a seat to his membership. I guess this is a one year seat for the Measurement Marketing Academy.
This is the Measurement Marketing Academy. So actually it'll come with lifetime access now to all the courses and the updates and lifetime support.
Wow.
So
okay. That's a value of $2,000. And I think Measure Masters is also in here. At Measure School, we have Measure Masters, which is also a membership. And the value of this is currently $1,300. And you will get a year-long membership to that as well as some all access passes for Measure Summit 2023. Now, we had the question in the past, what happens if I win an all access pass and I just bought an all access pass? Well, obviously you will get a refund for this one, so no cost to you. But if you want to buy one and not miss out on this one, please do get one and you'll be able to later still take part in the giveaway. And if you win one of the all access passes, you will be able to get a refund on this one. All right. And the all-encompassing s'mores basket. So s'mores, it's an American delicacy, I guess.
Hey, and I have to say, it was featured as an item on the Great British Baking Show.
Oh, wow.
Where half of them also did not know what s'mores was. So that was kind of cool because as an American, I'm actually a fan of my wife and I, who, by the way, Josh is also a huge opera fan. So that's kind of cool.
All right.
But we were watching Great British Baking Show and we watched all this stuff and they're saying things that clearly mean something to all of you, like your version of s'mores, right? Like they'll say something that's in France. I'm like, I have no idea what this thing even is. I've never heard of it, but evidently everyone over there across the pond clearly does. So all we have is s'mores. So
and I don't want to, this is not to be mean to the British people out there, but in Europe, they're not well known for their food or for their dishes. So I guess s'mores just fits into the pie that they have and the Guinness and what else is out there?
Can I say I also love
chips.
a good Scotch egg? A good Scotch
right.
egg. I love my Scotch eggs.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, this is definitely something you can indulge on. And I actually saw this when I was in the US in Walmart. They sell this as well. And I was like, oh, look at this, s'mores. I know what this is. So I learned it through Measure Summit. So
I was going to say Walmart. That means you must have been in the States.
yes, I just came back. I just came back actually. So unfortunately,
and no, we did not meet. I know.
Yeah.
That's the first thing everyone's going to be like, did you guys finally meet face to face? No, because, he was on the opposite
It's a
side
big country.
of the United States, sadly. It's a big country.
we also have a Analytics Canvas Pro subscription for 12 months. So this is the value of $3,500. If you don't know, Analytics Canvas is a great tool to connect any kind of things to Looker Studio, but also does it offer anything else? I mean,
So what this does, we
connector.
use, this is a go-to tool for us. Yeah, this is like a transformational tool. So everything pipes in. So we take all these different data sources, we throw them into Analytics Canvas, and we use this all the time as an agency for all of our clients. It is amazing. And I cannot speak highly enough about the support that we get from Analytics Canvas. They're huge. But we put everything in Analytics Canvas. Analytics Canvas then builds the queries. They use it, they've got all their proprietary stuff. Oh, Simo's in the house. So in the chat room. But we put everything in Analyst Canvas. It builds the queries and then puts it into a BigQuery table. That's what we use as our connector for Looker Studio. So now our clients' Looker Studio dashboards are faster. They are combined with multiple data sources already, and they're pulling clean data from BigQuery because Analytics Canvas helps us with that. And it's the coolest system. It's like a flowchart system that you sort of just connect the dots. So it's easy to train other team members on how to work with it. They should be obviously in the data end of things. You wouldn't want like a marketer coming in and doing that. But if they're a technical marketer, somebody who understands data, it's such a powerful tool. It's an absolutely cool. Oh, SEMO hurts s'mores. That's
the
awesome.
keyword. That's the keyword, huh?
You see what it is? You just shout s'mores, and then there's like SEMO running up. It's perfect.
All right, my camera just went haywire, so that's always great. So with that,
details.
I will need to cool down my camera. I don't know why it went dark, but I will turn it on and it should come back again. But Analytics Canvas, definitely check that one out. And do we have even more prizes? Let me see. Yeah, that are all the prizes that you can win at this year's Measure Summit. So get on it. We'll tell you in a second how you can actually get on it. And
one day, I know everybody asks us this every year. One day we will figure out Measure Summit swag and do some cool stuff. We did not figure it out this year.
Oh, we still have our old T-shirts, right? Apparently, we didn't gain weight, and also the fabric is still.
My big change was the glasses this year. I finally just gave up and was like, I'm tired of using contacts. I want to be able to read. So that's why I'm using
There's the laser. There's the laser. I got the laser, actually.
There is that.
10 years ago. They still look pretty well, but there are also side effects. This is not doctor advice, and also I don't play doctor on the internet. Okay. With that, we are almost 20 minutes into, in 20 minutes, we will come up with a really great session by Charles Farina. And yeah, it's kind of a little bit our GA4 day, but at the same time, that's the thing that everybody raves about right now or hates about right now. So we'll look into this today in many different sessions, as well as many other little nuggets. Juliana is going to talk about NLP and semantic. Oh my God, it was a long title. Semantic. Alan just bought the All Access Pass. Okay, let me just buy some time here and go over back to our agenda. So semantic textual analysis, which is a really, really interesting one. So you don't want to miss that one as well as the other great sessions from Fred Pike on essential GA4 parameters, Christy Osborne on enhancing client retention through streamlined reporting, and Phil Pierce on the G tag within GTM for the win, or
for the win.
The other way around.
That's it. FTW for the win.
All right.
Yes.
Okay.
You know what's really funny? That Julie Brade's second stage on-demand session actually uses WTF, but in a completely different way. In the marketing world, that's what they call an open loop.
Oh.
So go check out her session too. I want to make you watch it, but she did a really, really great job with how she thought about it. And that was the 1 minute dashboards session that she's doing. So it's like how to just basically create a dashboard that somebody can use in a minute or less and then get back to work, especially for stakeholders and clients and people that are maybe not so numbers tolerant, right? And they just want to, get what they need, get the action they need to go take and improve their results. So she talks quite a bit about how she's doing that with our clients, which is great.
Before we move on, we already have great conversation going on in the chat, so that's also the place that you can write about us. But we want to also encourage you to let us know how you measure Summit. That screen is a little bit out of place, but let me just fix it. You can go over to the LinkedIn or what do we call it? The X or
X, I guess now.
Or
we still have it. I think we still have it as Twitter on the site. So we didn't make that last minute update. I don't know if
let's just call it Twitter.
But for sure, LinkedIn.
So
LinkedIn's probably even better.
Yeah, and use Measure Summit as a hashtag, and then we'll be able to pull up your your tweet out there and your LinkedIn post, and then we'll be able to shout you out as well. So just to, I don't know if I can I? No, okay. We just want to see the posts here. All right. Okay, we are live, as you can see. Siobhan already tweeted LinkedIn out her presentation, Privacy by Design, which you will be able to see on Friday. So that will be cool. Jeff on the second stage, he will, you can see his session there as well. Jim already put something out there as well. And he has some great links as well. Wow, okay. And the Mercer on the this is actually a session from last year, right? The Mercer on the socials.
I did the one social post this year. You're welcome.
And your millions of followers.
That hasn't changed. That hasn't changed. I have still not gotten good at social media.
And then we'll go over to this website called X now, and we'll just go to latest here, and we see already some people here. I guess. Is the MeasureSummit site down?
This is why you should always check this before you live stream it.
Simo,
we take the risk every time.
Simo put us out on his Team Simmer account, so thanks for that.
Thank you, Simo.
And Agency Ready Marketing, we are live right here, so that's cool. They tweeted this out. Advertising, and Samantha Logan, she's on the stage on
3. She's on the
third day.
Yep. And that's also a fascinating conversation, especially because it's about bridging the gap between community measurement and marketing measurement, which is different, right? Marketers mostly think about the pipeline and step 1 and step 2 and step 3 and, sort of that linear stuff or a cart system, e-commerce system. We ask different questions from a marketing standpoint, but community building is everything right now. Talk about trends. Everyone's creating communities. Everyone's trying to get first party data. This is how we do it, by building communities, right? So that we own, not sending them over to Facebook or something like that. So how do you measure that? How do you know if your community is healthy? How do you know if it's actually impacting results so they can get more resources and prove that point? So if you're a community manager in any way, shape, or form, you will absolutely want to watch that. And if you're a marketer in any way, shape, or form, you still want to watch that one, because you need to figure out how to measure community anyway. And it was a fantastic talk. So again, that's going to be on day 3. With Venium. And
Julius also tweeted us out. Julius will be on the stage on the 3rd day as well. So he will hopefully bring his crowd over that is usually at MeasureSummit. So that's really cool to see. And yeah, we had some great posts here already earlier by Simo and Sati. So thanks for that. Yeah, and
thank you all for promoting.
Let's see, Who's the person who will use MeasureSummit on? No, we don't have anybody yet. Please get your X accounts out and let us know, as well as your LinkedIn accounts. And
what is hashtag MeasureSummit is what we're going to put everywhere. So that'll be how we pull it out and we'll find it. As we go through there.
Yeah. So,
by the way, over something else I'm going to put in the chat. I'm going to do this just real quick to make sure that everybody sees it.
Oh, here we go. Christian.
So we have this.
All right. Christian is the confetti worth for you. Oh, you cannot see it, right? No, not working. All right. Well, hold on. We go over here, and we'll give you the confetti on this side. So thanks for tweeting about MeasureSummit. And he's saying the MeasureSummit is where you want to be right now. So thank you so much for that. And anybody else wants to chime in? Yeah, Mauro is just hashtag MeasureSummit. Simo, of course. And oh, wow. Okay, this is how you MeasureSummit. Iteratology, technology marketing consultant. This is how I geek with other analytics geeks MeasureSummit. So cool to see this picture. And you definitely get a confetti from us. So thank you so much. And use the hashtag HowIMeasureSummit or MeasureSummit in that, and we will pull up the tweets again in a second here as well. With that, we are almost at time for our first session today, which will be Charles Farina. and on his topic on GA4.
And I'm also putting in the MeasureSummit attendee survey. So make sure that everybody has filled that out.
Oh, yeah.
I'm putting in a direct link so you don't have to do it through the redirects. So just go directly there to go to a Google form. Everybody can fill it out. I think some of the redirects are pulling the site down. We just had a lot more traffic this year, which is great. It's how it's supposed to work. But I know the Cloudflare is like busy kicking out errors. I'm seeing some of those, but we're fixing it, and just give it some time because it will refresh and come through. We just have a lot of traffic as everyone's hitting the site at the same time right now. But the attendee survey, we're creating a dashboard, a Looker Studio report, go figure, where Looker Studio, we're going to show that later on today. So we can see we want to make sure that everybody's here and has a chance to fill this out. So take a few minutes, get it there. And speaking of community, it's our chance to sort of help each other with like what tools we're using, how things have changed, what budgets we're doing, where is our current focus, in addition to some fun stuff as well that's in there. So if you could take a few minutes to fill that out, that would be outstanding.
Yeah, absolutely. Please do fill this out, and then we'll be able to make something out of it. We want to produce some data here, and we need good data quality. So if you haven't yet, take a little bit of time and put that in. Okay.
Thank you, JF.
And my camera's gone.
Appreciate that.
Of course.
Hey, is your camera really overheating? I've never heard of that.
Yeah, it's probably on the wrong setting. It's probably on 4K and stuff like that. So you will just need to do this with me for, I don't know.
Anders, I just want to say thank you for hanging out for 45 minutes, waiting for that to happen. I got to find that out. It's first year that happened. So thank you for that. Oops, I'm going to take that back down. I'll be splitting screens. So, but you made it. You made it. Paul was asking, so how do you win prizes? So the way, sorry, you split screening. When we, to win prizes, there's going to be a scavenger hunt form that we're going to fill out. And that's how you're going to enter in for the prizes. So we'll set that out. That's going to be out later this afternoon. So we'll have that probably maybe the next hour or two, something like that. We just didn't want to drop everything all at once because it's just too much and a little overwhelming. So we're going to drip stuff out as we go. I'm also going to, because I know there's a bunch of people in the crowdsource notes, but I'm going to put a direct link to the crowdsource notes as well. So we can put those in there. Give me just a second to pull those up. And then we'll have those for you. And that's just to get ready, especially with Charles's talk that's going to be coming up in just a few minutes from now.
Yeah, and if you're new to MeasureSummit, how this will go down in a second here, you will see Charles Farina with a great presentation on GA4 attribution modeling. You will have a little bit of an interview between Mercer and him because he was able to talk to Charles.
Charles is one of my favorite people, by the way, in this industry because he's so laid back. Like he's so brilliant, so smart. And so laid back and nonchalant about this stuff. He's like, I just want to talk about GA4 and here's some stuff that's going with attribution. Yeah. And then he just drops like these bombs where you're like, man, I didn't even think about that or this or the other thing. And it's really cool. It's an incredible session. So I want to especially if you have had some attribution challenges with GA4, he's going to give you some tips on kind of why that happens and how to explain it.
And does he shares his screen again and then just everything on the fly, right? He's not the...
And he does.
He's not the guy
he has no slides, by the way. He's not the guy with slides. He just does like, cool, let's jump in and then work with this platform. And that's exactly what he did to show.
Yeah, and that's really the greatest gift that he has. When I see his live demos, I'm always like, oh, okay, somebody who can just do this like that, right? People always think when they see me on YouTube that I haven't prepared anything, but yeah, there are tons and tons of demos to run through to get that one demo right. Let's put it this way. So with Charles, it's always interesting how he does it in one take. So we'll see that.
There's also there was a question about asking questions. So I believe it was Maha was asking about. So the
you can pull that up.
Okay, perfect. So the question. So how do you ask questions? Put them in the chat as we go through. A lot of the speakers are able to come in and answer. Not all of them will be able to, right? Because obviously it's based upon timing and things like that. If they can make it, they totally will and get in there and do that. if there's a question you have that wasn't able to be answered, we send those typically to the speakers and try to get them to answer those. And then we put them in their speaker session pages. And then we have a link to that. There's a whole Google Doc that'll have questions and answers for everybody's session. So we'll put that back there as well. And that's how that works. But ask your question in chat, because even if it doesn't get answered, we are capturing it. Our team's in the background, capturing those, building those out, getting them to speakers. Might be a slight delay, but we will do our very best. We can't guarantee every question is going to get answered, but we do our very best to get them back.
And the really cool thing is when you put in your question in the chat, there are some really knowledgeable people in the chat as well, and hanging out and just seeing what is happening. So Enrico is here, Simo is here. A lot of these speakers that may not be the session right now, but because of time zone changes as well. But a lot of knowledgeable people. So put your question in there and somebody might pick it up and just answer it for you. So keep an eye on the chat. Now, one thing that I want to tell you about the chat is the hashtag one thing. Mercer, do you want to introduce us for the first timers?
Hashtag one things. Yes. So all we're going to do, this is going to go in the chat. I'm going to do this as an example. So I'm going to say hashtag one thing. I love the one thing hashtag. So all we're going to do is pop in, what do you get the one thing? Now, the one thing actually is a measurementmarketing.io kind of training thing that we did a long time ago, where it was like, this stuff is overwhelming. It's confusing. There's a lot of stuff going on. There's a lot of sessions, over 40 sessions this year. I mean, think about that. We went from 15 to 40 this year. This thing keeps growing. It's great. But that means a lot of information. If you try to watch every session, you're just going to leave with like, oh, I have no idea what to do. So hashtag one thing stuff. And you say, okay, this is the one thing that changed how I look at something, or that I heard in a slightly different way that made it accessible, or that was a cool tactic, right? Or that was a cool way of a strategy that you picked up. Share those hashtag one things. We're going to be gathering those as well. And then the whole idea is you've got that one thing that you can actually start to take action on. You can actually start to grow from that, make it a skill. Because let's face it, in the beginning, we're all going to be exposed to this information. It's all going to be new. But then until you actually practice it, you actually don't have the skill. So that's hence the hashtag one thing. So pop your hashtag one things in there as you get them, and then we will pull them up. We got Fred Pike is here. Look at that.
Everyone's but one thing is one thing, right? Don't put too many.
Yeah, do a hashtag one thing for every one thing. Yes. Not hashtag one thing here, my 45.
Well, one thing that I forgot to introduce our audience to is the bio break. We usually take a bio break for the next session. So we are 5 minutes in, 4 minutes. We will get started with the session from Charles Farina. So everybody can be excited about it. But there's something called a bio break. So everybody who is over, well, anybody who doesn't wear diapers anymore or not yet can take a short break here and go to the bathroom and or restroom, as you call it in the US, right? You will be able to take a little bit of a bio break, and then let's meet back here in 4 minutes or so to listen to the wisdom of the one and only Charles Farina, who will be talking about GA4 attribution models. And with that, Mercer, anything else?
That's it. I look forward to it. Welcome to your first official Measure Summit bio break. And we'll see you in just a few minutes when we kick it off with Charles Farina.
Thank you.